would recommend this course to everybody. I think it's good for new agents like myself.
I wanted to learn the secret that all agents had, all successful agents had. And I got more than that.
Another day one. Monday, another day one. Start every single day as if it was your first day, and you'll be successful.
Signature!
Okay, good morning, Signature, and welcome to our weekly Tuesday Signature office meeting. Kind of a sparse group this morning. There's a lot of things going on. There's a crypto seminar at LVR, and people were actually going to that. And then we have our leadership team, some of them from LVR, which includes some of our people, are in Chicago. And so those of you who are here, you got to have the cheesy hash browns, and they were so good. Okay, first off, any wants and needs? Anybody? Anybody need to sell a house? Anybody need to find something for their buyer? You're going to have to come up. Well, I can pass you a mic.
KB rep in the Northeast. That's what I need. Okay, through the app. Use the Signature app. Send it to me because I'm going to see them today, listing and buying.
Okay, Roya.
Okay, so we have a listing in Inspirata. We have a listing in Inspirata that's 5 bedrooms, and we just did a price improvement for $888, and it has got a pool. It's really pretty. 2-story. Definitely come by and see it. We also have a duplex for sale for those of you guys who have investors. This duplex is amazing. You got to come see it. The price is $399, a low price of $399. And then we also have an option for a garage to be put on the back concrete. So let's talk about that too. And that's enough for today. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Wants and needs? Going once? Going twice? Okay. Oh. Wait. Estrella has a 5-bedroom rental, and where is it? In Henderson. And how much? 35. Yeah, 3,500, give or take $1. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, next up, my girls who are next up just disappeared. So we're going to go with Shelley from Prosperity Lending.
Ooh, there's a money bag here. That's cool. Haven't seen one of those in forever. I'm going to follow you, Janet.
Oh,
Just kidding.
Let me get out of
All right, happy Tuesday, everyone. So a couple things I want to share. Number one being where rates are. Where do you guys think rates are at? Ooh, very close. 7.25, 7.375. Yeah. And that's with buying down points. So there's a lot of, yeah, with 1%. 6.8, probably in the higher 7s right now. Yeah. So a lot of things that are happening. Good news from the consumer price index. All of the different things that we thought would actually lower interest rates are taking us by surprise. Jobs reports really holding on that we're in a good situation with jobs. So that's kind of been the reason why interest rates have gone up, which leads to still everybody is projecting that rates will come down end of Q4 into Q1 of 2024. So be prepared for that. Yeah. They're spending too much money. Yeah, so inflation is the reason why they've increased the Fed fund rates because of spending of money. And so they've increased the Fed fund rates to lower inflation, which it's working. But then when we're finding out that the job reports and people are not getting laid off, or that they are getting laid off, but in our eyes they're going from full-time to part-time, that still means that they're not getting laid off. It's still showing that we're not yet going into a recession, so to speak. If and when we go into recession and inflation is down, you will definitely see mortgage interest rates go down. Yeah, it's crazy. It's this lever of, up and down cycle that we go through. Welcome to real estate industry. The other thing I wanted to share with you is I went to the Inman conference. Did anybody else go to the Inman conference last week? Awesome. So a couple things that I wanted to share with you on that is, how many of you guys do social media? Yeah, a little bit? How many of you stepped into that? Okay, so content right now is big. One of the things, though, that they talked about is it's not about your content. So posting maybe like market stats, posting what the market or what your home is selling for, like static posts. You guys know what those are? Where you're just posting up a little picture of this. That's content. And I know a lot of us stress out about what content is. The thing that we need to focus on is context. So as you're putting up your market stats, they want you to be able to communicate what those market stats mean to you. The other thing is relatability. So Chelsea Pites actually got up and spoke, and she said relatability is the strategy and trust is the revenue. What does that mean to you guys? Who wants to make money? Yeah. So being able to relate to a client when you're posting the things on social media is that relatability factor, which is going to be the know, like, and trust, which brings the revenue and production to you guys. The other thing, last thing, Janet, sorry, is AI versus EI. What is AI? Artificial intelligence. What's EI? Emotional intelligence. The difference between the two is what? What's the difference between the two?
Basic psychology.
Yes. She's a broker of the Signature Real Estate. So she's got psychology 501 down. The difference between the two is you. So there's a lot of things today that AI is taking over. There's even a lot of conversation that AI could take over all of our jobs. But the one person or the one thing that it cannot replace is you. Utilizing AI as a form of making your business easier should be why you use AI. And if you're not using it, I know there's several classes out there. We're going to put a class together as well for AI. But using AI to help you, I know a lot of people use it for MLS remarks. It'll also help you with content, right? To post, to actually do reels, different things that you can do. There's several different apps out there that can help to make your jobs easier, but they can never replace you. And that's one of the things that, for me, I was like, okay, that actually makes me feel better. I'm not going to go out and have to find another job. And then the last thing is, 90% of consumers say that they would use their realtor again. Is that good? 12% of them actually do. Yeah. When I heard that, I was like, what do we need to do to improve that number from 12% up? Any questions for me? Call me maybe. Start using AI. Love it. Stop using AI. Yeah, be you, right? Database management. They did talk about that. They did talk about for face-to-face, and really, we are in a people-person business. We have to be people. We have to show our faces on social media, face-to-face door knocking, open houses, all those great things. Any questions for me at all? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Shelley. So, going right along with what Shelley just talked about, this is the last week to sign up for the MLS Tech Forum, which will be held August 30th. And one of the keynote speakers can directly attribute 80% of her closings to TikTok. And she's going to tell you what she does and how she does it. It's $40. Breakfast, lunch, ice cream social, and fabulous door prizes. So I encourage you to sign up for the MLS Tech Forum at the forum. Okay, before I bring up our next speaker, I want to tell you a little story. It's kind of sad, but yet it's kind of funny. And before you think I'm talking out of school, I want you to know that I have permission to tell this story. So here's what happened. We have an agent in this office. Her ex-husband was dying. She brought him to her house to perform home hospice. So he was in her house for home hospice. He passed away last Sunday morning, early in the morning. Also, at the same time, her air conditioner went out. She has a home warranty. So she called the company, but needless to say, she was so hysterical, she could hardly even get out her name, much less her address or anything else, and she got frustrated and hung up on them. So at 8 o'clock on Sunday morning, she calls Lisa Waldeck and says, my air conditioner is out, my husband has passed away, and he's in the house. I need somebody immediately. And Lisa said, wow, I'll try, but it's 8 o'clock Sunday morning. I don't know who I can get out there. And my agent said, let me put it to you this way. If there's nobody here in an hour, I'm putting him in the car and I'm driving him to the funeral home. So guess who came through and had the air conditioner repair people there within the hour? Lisa Waldeck from Chosa Realty, Home Warranty. That's a true story.
It is a true story. So, yeah, so we, just like you guys deal with a lot of different things, just more than buying, selling homes. You deal with, having to call out air conditioning people and before somebody drives a body to the funeral home. So it's all good. But guys, Lisa Waldeck at Chosa Home Warranty. We're seeing claims handled within the same day, sometimes hours. Audrey's was a really good, observation there. She called me at 8 o'clock. I had somebody out there by 9:30 in the morning, and we had her error fixed. It needed a new capacitor. The tech had the part on the truck. We said, make the repair. Boom, it was done. I had talked to Tamara Coulter just a couple weeks ago where she had a claim also. Within 24 hours of the customer filing the claim, we had the repair made. So it's working. We answer the phone in less than 1 minute with a live person, which is huge right now. You're not sitting on hold for 45 minutes. When that technician comes out to make the diagnosis and give an estimate to our office, they're getting that same 1 minute or less hold time so we can give them authorization to make that claim right then and there. So you're not waiting 5-7 days for a technician just to come to the house to get diagnosis. We're letting them make the repairs right then and there. If they have the parts on the truck, if they have to run to the parts store, get the part, come back, make the repair. Better yet, we're paying those vendors same day that they make the repair while they're still at the house, and we're paying them their retail rate. So the quality of vendors going out to the houses want to make the repair. They want to make it the right way. They're getting paid the same day. They're not waiting 30, 45 days to get paid, which is a really big deal. I mean, they want paid too, just like we do. I mean, they deserve to get what they're worth also. So I've got brochures here. I've got more information if you guys need it. The other thing that I'm wanting you guys to do is put that listing coverage on your listings. When you take a listing, we offer free listing coverage. All you have to do is email me, shoot me a text and say, hey, I took a new listing, here's the address. I'll put the coverage on. It includes refrigerator, washer, dryer, AC, and roof leak coverage. I mean, we've had rain. I mean, there are roof leaks happening because of the rains that we've been having. But it's really important to put that in your net sheet when you're doing a listing presentation. 95% of realtors are not presenting listing coverage because they don't know how or they don't know what to say. So when you're doing that listing presentation, you're doing that net sheet, and you're putting in there the cost in there for the HOA resale package, the HOA demand, your commissions, the closing costs. Put a line item in there for home warranty and let the seller know that more than likely they're going to get an offer asking for them to pay for a 1-year home warranty at close of escrow for the buyer. by then it's already kind of in their head, okay, this may be a cost that I'm going to have to pick up. And then at that time say, by listing with me, I'm going to include a free home warranty on your property during the listing and escrow period. So it's going to protect them. We see ACs break down, during the listing period. I just had somebody yesterday, she's like, oh my gosh, I forgot that this could have been covered. It was listing coverage. It needed some kind of an electrical outlet in the garage. We're covering it. It was $580. And I mean, sellers don't want to put any more money into that house when they have it listed for sale. So if you have any questions about the coverage, let me know. Call me, email me, text me. All of my information is on the brochures. And thank you.
Okay, I also want to recognize we have Jeremy and Amy here from Ticor Title. Thank you for showing up always. And at Signature, we do more than just teach you to do real estate and throw social events. We are also a charitable group, and we give back to our community. So I'm going to bring up three ladies, Sherry and Denise, and where did Lizette go? She's disappeared twice. Come up to talk about making strides against breast cancer. You got 3 minutes, ladies.
How pretty her hair. Oh, you're not. So I get 2 microphones. We'll hold one in case you guys, you know how I always forget information. Anyway, so as a lot of you know, what I do every year is we raise money for breast cancer. And the big walk, Making Strides Against Breast Cancer walk, is October 22nd. Signature, as a group, we do that together. It's a lot of fun. Brandon will be providing our t-shirts, so let me know, register with me or call me or anybody on our committee, let Janet know, anybody around, say, I want to be on that walk, and we'll get you there and get you a shirt. October 22nd, we meet at Lazy Dogs at 7:30 in the morning, downtown Summerlin. The walk starts at the Red Rock Casino parking lot. Anyway, so through these next couple months, we do what we can to raise money for this function, for this organization. So the first thing we're going to have is in our office, our wonderful Lizette, who's incredible. She's been putting together these baskets. It's not just you? Oh, Linda. Oh, really? Look how wonderful it is. And also, just so everyone knows, Shelly from Prosperity is donating a tequila basket. But we're making it so super easy. Last year, if you've been with Signature for a while, every office meeting I'm raffling off bottles of booze. But we thought we'd add a little class to it, right? A little nicer. So we're going to give you all the opportunities you can think of. Ashley will be sending you flyers on how to buy raffle tickets for this. At this office and at Green Valley, there'll be a pink box with tickets. You can actually purchase raffles at the office themselves, or you can just contact me. But it's so simple. We got it set up with Bill Oliver. You can Zelle him. You can Venmo him. And the drawings will take place at our fabulous luncheon, which we take cash. Yeah, I know. Ellie walked in, he pulls out his, can I do this? I said, no, not yet, not yet. Anyway, so we're going to have our fundraiser luncheon at a restaurant called Beso on September 30th, 11 a.m. That's this flyer. And that's where we will have all of the raffles. We will raffle off this wonderful basket, other baskets. We have some Smith Center tickets already. We have some restaurants. We, gift certificates. We have all kinds of things coming in all the time, and we're going to raffle all that at that luncheon. And it's $35. And again, if you'd like to go to the luncheon, if you have, even your clients, friends, family, it's a lovely event, and we have a lot of fun, right? Somebody's going to be bringing a little person, a little baby. That's nice. It's very casual. It's very nice, but it is all for the American Cancer Society. Okay, so that's the second thing. And the third thing is our wonderful bake sale. We've been doing the bake sale the longest, I think, for like 10 years now. We've been doing a bake sale. That's going to be October 3rd in this office. So if anybody would like to donate some baked goods, contact me. I'm going to have an ongoing list, at the Green Valley office and here, a list of what you'd like to bring, cupcakes, cookies, whatever, anything. And here's the tickets. These are the tickets for the raffle. You'll be filling out when you buy them directly from the front desk or from me or anybody on the committee. And if you have any questions or... Will fill in the tickets for Yes, if you Zelle bill or a Venmo bill, we will fill out the tickets for you and put them in the pink box, okay? And go ahead. Pardon me? Oh, it's on the flyer. Did you see? Oh, but okay. So one ticket is $5, right? You can do 6 tickets for $25, 15 tickets for $50, and 40 tickets for $100. Just so you know, these baskets start at $250 of value. They're not cheap. They're very nice, very well thought out, and very expensive. So okay, did I forget anything? Got it all. Thanks, guys. Hope to see you at something, one of these.
Okay, thank you, ladies. Thank you. So buy your tickets. In years past, we've always raffled off 2 or 3 bottles at every office meeting. But then when we did the fruit basket turnover, we're doing this meeting here and this meeting there. It's just not working. So we're going to do this, these wonderful, wonderful baskets. Plus, you get to keep the basket. Okay, so today's office meeting. So in May, I went to D.C. to the NAR mid-year convention. And I went to one of the broker committees meetings, and they had these books out, 179 Ways Agents Who Are Realtors Are Worthy of Every Penny of Their Commission. And these are the things that you do or you should do for your clients to make them money and to make you money, but we're not always great at expressing, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. Now, this little presentation we just got through with Mike Ferry, flies in the face of Mike Ferry's in the door and out in 20 minutes. This would not be a 20-minute presentation if you decided to go through this with your clients. However, this would make a great pre-listing package insert. It would also make a great leave behind, and it would also help as a guide for you. So I'm going to go through these. Now, this was put together by the broker committee for NAR. So there were representatives from all across the country, and they don't all do what we do, and we don't all do what they do. And so I want you to remember, always under promise and over deliver. So I'm going to go through these with you. I'm going to give you this whole list of 179 ways to get it. Now, I thought about printing these out and putting them in a nice little booklet, but then I thought, Brandon will kill me if I waste that much paper. So if you want a copy of this, all you have to do is email Kyla at this office's front desk, and it's Kyla, Kyla, at signaturenv.com, and she will email you the link for all of this, including the pictures. So, next, I got to turn so I can see what we're doing. Okay, next slide. And I have my helper Beta. Okay, scroll a little bit. Okay, pre-listing activities. So you might want to even just email this page to your seller and say, this is what I'm going to do for you before we ever even meet. And give them some food to think about. Because I guarantee you, nobody else in Las Vegas probably has this. I'm sorry? Yeah, I just said, email Kyla, and she's going to email you the entire link, which is in a PDF format, and you'll have all the pictures and everything too. But here's the thing I would suggest you do. Number one, I would suggest you either retype this or find somebody to redo it so you can leave out the things that you are not going to do. Because I guarantee you, if there's one thing on there that you don't do or that we don't normally do in Nevada, your seller's going to call you on that and say, why didn't you do this? So these are pre-listing activities. Well, yeah, we all make appointments with for the listing presentation with the seller. I'm not going to read all of these to you because, well, I do have 40 minutes to kill, so maybe I could. So send them an email confirming the appointment, preview any pre-appointment questions, do your research on activity from the local MLS broker marketplace, public records databases. Number 6, research average days on the market for this type of property, price range, and location. Download and review property tax roll assessor information. That's the same thing as your tax printout, your tax star. You want to be sure that the person you're talking to is actually the person who owns the property. And I was once punked, if you didn't know this, by the Jimmy Kimmel Show because I was called to go take a listing. Beautiful home in Summerlin. They called me 3 times to be sure I was going to be on time, and I'm like, yeah, I'll be on time. So I get there, and the person who answers the door and the person I had been talking to was not the person listed as the owner of the house. So be sure you're talking to the owner of the property. Do a CMA for your seller. Number 9, obtain a copy of subdivision plat complex layout. Has anybody ever done that? So you wouldn't want to put that in. Now, we used to, in the old days, before we had computers, we'd go to the little microfiche, open the door, pull out the little sheet, stick it in, and we'd make a copy of the subdivision and mark where the house was and include it in our listing packet. But nobody does that anymore, so you'd probably want to leave that out. Research properties ownership. Yeah, I just talked about that because I was actually on the late night Jimmy Kimmel Show for being punked because I refused to take the listing. Number 11, I don't think anybody does this either. Research properties public record information for lot size and dimensions. That automatically populates on our MLS, so I don't know if I would put that in. Number 12, research and verify legal description. Well, it comes out on our tax report. Does anybody actually research that? No, so I'd leave that one out. Research properties, land use, coding, and deed restrictions. Has anybody ever done that? Commercial people do. Horse property. The area downtown where some is becoming commercial, some can still be used residential. Verify the names, prepare your listing presentation. This is all pre-listing activities. And number 21, review Obsolete Property Rehabilitation Act. I have no idea what that is. Never heard of it. So you probably would not include that on your list of the pre-listing things you're going to do before you even meet with the seller. And number 22, add the client to your database. Okay, next page. And the other thing I think you could do too, if you're really talented or if you know somebody who's really talented, instead of these pictures they have here of, you know, anonymous people meeting with sellers and doing presentations, put your own pictures in there, pictures of you, and that would make it even more personal, because I guarantee you nobody else in town is doing this. Okay, now you're at the listing appointment presentation. Mike Ferry would probably croak if he thought you'd spent enough time to do all of this on your listing appointment. But it's whatever is your personality. There's no way I can get in and out the door of a listing presentation in 2 minutes. Usually it's like 2 hours. But, and I don't do all the talking either. So most of the stuff on the listing appointment presentation we do, we give them an overview of the current market. You have to tour the property, measure the rooms. Does anybody still measure the rooms? I do have my little measuring bait that bounces off the walls with radar. Give your CMA to the seller, talk about pricing strategies, discuss the seller's goals. When do they want to move? How fast do they have to move? Why are they moving? Um, talk about our local MLS. Talk about the other market power you have with our IDX feed, Realtor.com. Even tell them it's going to be on Zillow unless they don't want it on Zillow. Talk about your role in screening for qualified buyers. Discuss strategy. Explain the transactions. Now let's go to number 38. Gather square footage, measure overall and heated square footage as required. Yeah, I don't know anybody that does that because we can't change it. It's in the MLS, and only if you can get an appraiser to come out and verify that the square footage is wrong, or the county tax people come out and verify the square footage is wrong, you're going to get what's in the MLS on your printout. So you might want to take that out because you're not measuring the entire house. We used to. We used to have to measure the entire house and draw a diagram. Angela, are you stretching or asking a question? If there's a dispute, you know, sometimes somebody may have had a square footage and the tax assessor did not pick it up for whatever reason. I've had this situation with people that are the first sellers of new construction because whatever the builder said is the square footage of their property is not what TaxStar says it is. I've actually had a young single mom cry hysterically because she had the brochure that showed her square footage, but TaxStar said it was not what she thought it was. And I'm like, it's no big deal. And to her, it was a really big deal. But you're going to get automatically, when you print out your MLS printout, what MLS has in there. The only way it can be changed is with something from an appraiser or paperwork from the county tax assessor who's been asked to come back out and remeasure it.
I was an appraiser before I went to the dark side and became an agent. So you have to be careful with that because you can affect your client because county can come back for back taxes if the property is larger. So you really have to have that conversation with your client whether they really want to do that or leave that for the next owners. Because I had one as an appraiser where it was the model and the county left the garage as part of the house. So they were overpaying their taxes because the square footage of the garage was considered square footage of the house. But when they converted it back to a garage, they never converted it back on county records. So it can go both ways.
That's true.
It was a model, same thing, but not that, but it was smaller, so they were pretty good.
Yeah, so you really have to watch, you have to have that conversation with your client because it can affect them financially.
So if those of you at home did not hear, and my bad, I'm sorry, I should have carried a microphone back to you. Be careful with that because it could adversely affect the current owner's taxes if you call the county tax assessor to come back out and measure. Okay. Measure interior room sizes. We talked about that. Confirm lot size via owner's copy of certified survey. Yeah, we're not doing certified surveys in subdivisions. You got 3 block walls on the side of 3 sides of the house, and then you've got the street, but you will get what the county tax assessor spits out when you print out your MLS printout. So I probably wouldn't put that in because you're not going to do anything to research it in most cases. Note all unrecorded property liens, agreements, and easements. Yeah, well, if they're not recorded, I'm not real sure exactly how to go about finding it out, but you may want to call your favorite title company rep and say, hey, I'm getting ready to take this listing. I need to know, give me a preliminary title report so I can find out if there's any liens I need to be aware of. Because if your seller owes a ton of IRS taxes, or if they owe back child support and they don't have enough equity to cover that, they may not be able to sell their house. So you need to research that probably. Obtain house plans if applicable. I've known people that lived in their house for 20 years and still had the original brochure from the builder with their house plans. And then I've known people that have been in their house for 3 weeks and it went out in the garbage. So just depends on whom you're dealing with. Talk about showing instructions. How does your seller want the house to be shown? Of course, you're going to discuss financing options. Review current appraisal if applicable. In most cases, you will not have an appraisal before somebody gets a loan, applies to get a loan on the house. So you may not have it. You may have the appraisal from the original builder, or you may still have the appraisal from when they bought the house, but then again, you may not. So if you're not going to review the current, it's probably not current though. So you might want to take that out. Identify homeowner association manager if applicable. Well, you're going to need to talk to the homeowners association. I don't know if you necessarily need the manager, depending on how big the homeowners association is. You need to know how much they're having to pay in their HOA fees. If you're not going to do it, don't put it in. And then order the copy of the homeowner association bylaws. Number 50. This was covered a lot on a lot of utilities. Research electricity availability supplier's name and phone number. Well, we don't really have a choice. So it's Nevada Power, so there's no research to do on that. Okay. Next page. These are things for you to do, or that you should do, on your listing appointment presentation. Yes. Here. Because people at home cannot hear you.
I took a listing and it didn't say there was an HOA. When I remember I sold them the home, I don't recall. This is many years ago. So when I asked the seller about his HOA, he said, we don't have an HOA. So I took him for his word. I listed it. I put no HOA. I get a call from a realtor who's showing it. She says, you know there's an HOA here. So then I go in the MLS, pull up the subdivision, look at all the homes that sold, listed. They all had HOAs. I call the number, call the HOA. Yes, the guy was behind, way behind. Yeah, he didn't even realize. The family died. He took over, just moved. He didn't know it. So maybe you want to go in and double check that before, just so you know, because he had no idea.
There's a subdivision in North Las Vegas, and
Oh.
there's a subdivision in North Las Vegas at Revere and Tropical, and I found out the inner part of the subdivision, same builder, same houses, same everything, half of it is HOA and half of it is not. And the only way you could tell was the ones that did not had gray walls, and the ones that did had red walls. So it was when I was selling, because I sold them both at the same time, because I had a buyer that or had a seller that owned homes in both areas, and wanted to make sure. And it was tough to actually to get the boundaries of what was HOA and what was not. And then we finally figured out the walls were the variance and what you could tell. Yeah, all my listings.
Yeah, all the time. Hold on to it. You may have another comment. So another thing, there are a couple of older neighborhoods in Las Vegas that do not have HOAs. There's no monthly fee. There's no management company, but there are CC&Rs. So you need to be careful about that. I had another broker call me just recently and chew me out because the agent had checked no HOA, no CC&Rs, and she said, this neighborhood has CC&Rs. You need to educate your agent. I'm like, okay. So just be aware of that too. So it's a good idea to always get your preliminary title report before you start filling out the paperwork. Okay, we're still on the listing appointment. You can read most of these for yourself. If it's a vacant checklist, it says send vacancy checklist number 62 to seller if property is vacant, and register the property with the township if it's vacant or a rental home. We don't do that, so I would not type that into my little report that I was going to leave behind. Number 67, verify if property has rental units involved. Yeah, that's pretty common in Las Vegas that you can tell by looking if there's a rental unit. If there's a duplex, one or both are going to be rented. If it's a fourplex, one or all are going to be, three or all are probably going to be rented, so that's easy to figure out. But I have discovered, and I know they're breaking the CCRs, there are a lot of neighborhoods in Summerlin where they have a really nice casita in the front of the house, and they use it as a rental, which is a no-no. Anyway, okay, so these are things that you do on your listing appointment presentation. And you don't have to read these like I'm reading them to you, to your client. Just leave them. Let him read them. These are the things that I will be doing for you. And if you're interviewing other agents, say check with your other agents and see if they do half of these things. Okay, next one, Beta. Listing appointment presentation. Most of these we all do. Arrange for the installation of the yard sign, do the listing checklist, review the curb appeal with your client. Number 75, load listing into transaction management software program. I don't know if that's talking about your own transaction management program, if it's talking about, hey, you better get it into SkySlope within 48 hours of having all signatures. But so you just depend on how you want to go on that. The other thing under the listing appointment is number 97, provide marketing data to buyers through International Relocation Network buyers. We don't really have that, but we do have the global committee. So at LVR, so you could maybe change the word around, provide information to members of the LVR Global Committee, and just go down there and give a flyer to a couple people, and you've fulfilled that promise. Okay, everything else I think you pretty well do. Used to be a pretty common thing, and I don't see it anymore, but number 99, provide special feature cards for marketing. So you'd walk in the house, and there'd be a sign by the sink that says osmosis. Or there'd be a sign by in the kitchen that would say under cabinet lights, so that if you were showing the property and it wasn't your listing, you didn't miss any of the features. Okay, I'm not going to read all the listing appointment presentation, but this will help you get more exposure to your property. Turn the next page, Beta. This is a listing appointment presentation continued. Submit ads, supply brochures, do email feedback, discuss with sellers all feedbacks, set up marketing reports on showing time, place weekly update calls, even if you have nothing to say. You have something to say. I'm sorry, according to showing time, no one has shown your property this week. It's probably overpriced. You may not want to be that blunt, but you have something to report. But here's what I have done, and it still has not generated any showings. Okay. And then see, you have this nice picture of this lady, whatever she's doing. I can't tell. She's not on a laptop. She may be mailing a package. I don't know. But have somebody take your picture at your desk and put your pictures in here. The other thing, too, this is printed on really nice, lightweight cardstock paper. So you'd want to put it on nice paper if you're going to use it as a separate leave behind, or if you're going to use it as a whole listing presentation thing, you could have it part of the packet with all your paperwork for that. Okay. Offers, next page, Beta. Offers. I think we should pretty well do everything that's listed here for offers. Say, I'm going to review all the offers. I'm going to evaluate the offers and prepare a net sheet for each one. I'm going to list the merits and the weaknesses of each offer if you get multiple offers. I'm going to deliver the seller's disclosure to the buyer upon request. You're going to confirm that the buyer is pre-qualified by calling their loan officer. How many of you do that? You get an offer, call the buyer's lender and find out how good they are. Are they borderline? Are they solid? Does the lender expect any issues? And they should tell you. Get the pre-qualification letter if it's not been delivered, and create spreadsheets for review of multiple offers. When the offer to purchase contract is accepted, you're going to deliver it back to the buyer's agent. Now, are you going to get in your car and drive it to their office? No. But it sounds better saying, oh, and I will email it back to the other agent once we've accepted it. Say, I'm going to deliver. Deliver is a much better word, shows more action. Contracts. This is everything you need to do, and it keeps saying deliver copies, deliver copies, deliver copies. It also says provide copies. So do you know that if your seller signs a listing contract and you don't deliver a copy to them with a broker's signature, you do not have a valid listing. I have known people who have gotten out of their listing because they didn't like their agent, no other reason, and it was because they didn't have a copy of the contract with a broker's signature. Now, having said that, the brokers are all in unanimous agreement that we'll be happy to sign your listing. Just email it to us for electronic signature, but I will not be the first one to sign. I will be the last one to sign. I want the buyer, the seller, everybody to have signed whatever they're supposed to sign before I get it to sign it. Any questions on that? Okay. Contracts, you pretty much do everything there is to do on that. Next page. Inspections. Now, this varies a lot from evidently part of the country to part of the country. Number 132, unrecorded property information. Well, I'm going to be blunt. I don't know how you get unrecorded property information. I don't know. So like I said, this was put together by brokers from all over the country. So different people do different things. Just like we're an escrow state, but most of the states are table closing states. So I don't know.
You find on rural properties, though, a lot where they do a casita that wasn't permitted. On rural properties, when I do horse properties and stuff like that, so you'll find that they'll put a casita on that's not permitted. So that's a non-recorded property, or they'll put a horse barn on that's not a recorded property thing. So you a lot of times will have to convey that to the buyers. Hey, you're buying this property and these are not permitted. So it does come up.
Gotcha.
Patios have to be permitted as well. Yeah.
Yep, patios have to be permitted too. So Order septic system inspection if applicable. So if the property that you're doing doesn't have, it says applicable, you could leave it in in case your property that you're listing is on city sewer. Receive and review the septic system report and assess any possible impact. I'm going to tell you honestly, I wouldn't know how to review a septic tank report. I wouldn't know what it meant. So I would have to get advice from somebody else. So you might want to think whether to leave that in there or not. Deliver a copy of the septic tank inspection and report. Deliver well flow test if your property has a well. Verify the termite inspection has been ordered. In Nevada, not everybody gets a termite inspection. It's not required except on a VA loan. So, but then it has to be delivered to escrow. So be sure that is taken care of. Mold inspection ordered if required. If you're not going to do it, don't put it in. If you think, yeah, I'd do that, put it in to make your list longer. And I don't think there's much else on this list that you would not or should not do. Home inspection. You should all do everything on this list. And then the appraisal, schedule the appraisal, provide the appraiser any comparable sales used in marketing prices. So since you used to be an appraiser, let me ask you a question. For a long time there was this, we're not allowed to talk to the appraisers. For years I took my CMA and gave it to the appraiser when I met the appraiser, till I had one guy say to me, sweetheart, I've been doing this for 30 years. I don't need your comparables. I'm like, okay. Yeah, he didn't mean it in a nice way. So what is your opinion as a former appraiser? Do you want agents to bring the comparables that they use to price the property, or you go, hey, I know what I'm doing?
Not so much not so much with the comparables, but more with the upgrades and stuff that has been done to the house over a period of time. Those were more helpful for me than actually comparables were.
Yep, that does make sense. Okay, and then follow up on the appraisal. Keep calling the lender, say, where is my appraisal? It needs to be in by tomorrow or we're going to have to do an addendum. Okay, next page, Beta. If I can turn it. Processing for closing. Coordinate everything. Now, when I first started in real estate, my average sales price was 79 to 98. A sale of 100,000 was like, wow. So you guys are making big bucks nowadays, and you need to provide the service that you're being paid to do. Go to title when your people are signing their paperwork. I can't tell you how many deals on buyers I have saved because I was there and went, yeah, no, the lender made a mistake. I even had one time a young, hot-headed guy, thank God his mom was there, got up and walked out and said, I'm not giving you people any more money, I'm leaving. Because the lender had put on the net sheet that he was to be charged 2 points, which was not figured in any of the net sheets that I had done. And so called the lender and she said, no, we don't charge points. Gave the phone to the escrow officer and it was taken off immediately and his mother talked him back into the room. So you can save deals if you are at closing. You're being paid to be there. And so here are 20 things that you should do for your clients at closing. And then the most important thing to you is going to be contacting and keeping in contact with your people after closing, because only 12% of your clients are going to remember your name. So, if you want this whole printout, and I'm begging you, don't just print it out and give it to people, because there are things on here that we don't do that are not done in Nevada. Change it around, cut and paste, whatever you have to do, but make it yours. It's 179 different ways to tell your clients, this is how I earn my money. If you want it, she doesn't have it yet, but I'll email it to her in about 10 minutes. Email Kyla, K-H-Y-L-A, at signaturenv.com. Kyla's at our front desk. It's a color PDF, so you can go from there. Any questions? So we have a lot going on right now. We have post-licensing going on all week. There will be a CE class next Wednesday here. Roya, Green Valley.
Yes, so Green Valley, our sales meeting next week is in Green Valley, so make sure you're all in attendance. Also, next Thursday, we're going to do the prospecting workshop, so it's really cool for new people, for veterans, it doesn't really matter. We're going to have morning with Tycor. Tycor is coming in to sponsor that event, and hello? There you are. Okay, sponsor that event, and we're going to have about 15 to 20 so far registered. But basically what we do is we do role plays, we do calls. I'm going to make phone calls. There's going to be a lot of people on the phone, so you guys can get a little tips. Patrick, you're always there, so thank you for that. All of you guys, there's like 4 or 5 of you guys are always there from this room. So I want you guys to try to really make an effort to try to come to these. I know Tyson is also doing stuff here at the office in Spanish Ridge. So those are on Monday, Wednesdays. That's what I said. Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays. And so next week, everybody will be down at Green Valley. So come to that. In addition to that, in the afternoon, I believe we're still doing it at Green Valley. We're going to say yes, Green Valley. We're doing the social for the YPN, so young professionals. And it'll be at the Green Valley location, which is right in the district. If you haven't been there before, it's super cool. We got a pool table. So come on by and drink or, not, whatever you want to do. And we have, I think we're trying to get a wine sponsor for that one. The YPN event is the 24th. And the morning breakfast and the prospecting workshop is on the 24th as well. And then if you're in the Green Valley location, tomorrow is our big cleanup day so we can get our carpets cleaned. So please do that. That's it. I got it.
Thank you, Roya. And Tyson is leading a prospecting cold calling group in the bullpen over here in the cubicles Monday, Thursday, and Friday from 8:30 till noon. And Green Valley's prospecting workshop is also at 8:30. One more thing, mark your calendars. I'm giving you notice, September 22nd will be the annual Signature Family Picnic at Hills Park. Friday, September 22nd from 5 to 8. Totally free, totally catered. You don't have to bring a dish to share. And it's a family event. Bring your kids if you want, although I will tell you honestly, in the 10 years that we've been having this, more people bring their dogs than bring their kids. So, but it is a family event. The park's already been booked, so put that on your calendar, and thank you for coming, and see you. Oh, wait, one more thing.
So since you're talking about listings and stuff, one of the things I do is I put a floor plan in each one of my listings. There's a app called Cuba Casa, and you put it on your phone. You walk the house with your phone. You can have it blank, or you can have it put the windows, doors, cabinets, and tubs and all that in. It's $15 for the base floor plan, and then I think it's $10 for the deluxe floor plan. And you, like I say, it's so easy. You just walk the house, and it scans the house. Cuba Casa. And you can go on YouTube, and there are great tutorials on YouTube to tell you exactly how to do it and make it come out perfect. But it's a great app, and it's an awesome thing to put in with your pictures. I do the front of the house, and then I do the floor plan, and then the rest of my pictures after that, so people can actually see and feel the flow. So
Great. One more thing to put in your arsenal. Anybody else have anything else? Thank you for coming. See you Tuesday in Green Valley.